Welcome to Spillane Field here for the Postgame podcast following games 12 and 13 of the season as the Harwich Mariners split the doubleheader. They won the first game 4-1 and fell in the second game 5-1 to the Wareham Gatemen. So what were the positives you took at least out of the first game of the doubleheader, David?
Yeah, well, in the first game, we have to start talking with Tyler Baum, who was just on fire. He pitched a complete game, which was 7 innings today, but still impressive nonetheless. His pitch count was still below 90 at 88 pitches. He only surrendered 3 hits, and he struck out 8 batters. This was a Wareham team that the night prior against Falmouth had struck out 12. They were struggling with the count some, especially with fastballs, and Baum took advantage of that. Was really, really good today, and you saw the team was really happy about that. Obviously, they sort of mobbed him after the first game. And hitting wise in the first game, it was solid. In game 2, they struggled some, but game 1, the offense was going. They were able to drive home a couple of runs, and of course, the power has really started to become a theme in the lineup for the Mariners. They knocked their 3rd home run of the season with a solo shot from Debo.
And let's talk a little bit about Debo. So Debo coming into the game, he'd been striking out a lot, he'd been struggling, but he really seemed to break out of that today.
Absolutely. Like I said, he had the home run, and even on a hit later in the game, it was actually in the second game, he had a deep shot all the way out in right center field we thought might leave the park. But again, he's having better at-bats, longer, more competitive at-bats, and we saw that that was a good shot, too, that almost hit the grass or in the right center field, almost left the park. So he's having better at-bats, and those will lead to more and more hits, and hopefully more and more home runs.
Exactly, so the hitting really started to come together. And I think the other real bright spot this year has been Kobe Vance. He's been nothing short of tremendous. You want to talk a little bit about him?
Yeah, Kobe has been really, really just solid throughout. He's come up with some clutch hits, even though today the Mariners didn't get much of a rally going in the 7th inning. In the second game, he got what would have been the potential rally going with a big double. He was telling me after the game that honestly in any other scenario earlier in the game he probably would have gone for 3 bases, was pretty confident that he could have made it, just didn't want to take the risk in the scenario. And we also saw him steal another base today. That's something headed into the summer that he was really looking to improve on, and he showed that was his 5th stolen base of the season, and it wasn't even close. So Vance has been really, really solid, and he's also been very good defensively. We have no reason to believe that his play won't continue.
And also, of course, Cullen Dana looked pretty solid in his inning of work, and then Grove came in. And give me your thoughts on game 2 overall.
Yeah, I mean, the Mariners really struggled to get on base in game 2. I mean, I believe they had they had 3 hits the entire game, or game in the second game. Oh no, it was just 2, so I go back, I was correct. So just 2 hits. They were both from Kobe Vance, and you had the sac fly from Kyler Murray. I mean, that game whizzed by. It never seemed like the Mariners were able to get their bats going, able to get the offensive live. I don't really chalk that up to much. I think some of the at-bats were pretty good, and some days that's the sport of baseball. Some days are going to be good like game 1, and then some days, just like game 2, are not going to be as great. They happen to be in the same day. In relief, we saw Dylan Grove struggle some, particularly with his control. I do like that he stuck to his stuff. I know he hit 3 batters, all on inside sliders, and I was talking to some of the pitching coaches after the game, and it's a pitch he's confident with, and he likes to go inside. He likes his two-seam fastball to run inside. Unfortunately, he ended up nicking 3 batters today. It's not what you like to see. I like that he's stuck with his stuff, and I think that Grove will bounce back when the time comes.
That's right, and that will do it here from our post-game podcast. Of course, the Harwich Mariners falling 5-1 in Game 2. They got a double from Kobe Vance in the 7th, but that was really all they really managed to muster offensively. And David, Sugarman, and Austin Rooney, we say so long to you here. We will play the Katuitt Kettleers on Tuesday night back at White House Field. But from Spillane Field, we say so long until next time.